There was the Sega CD, there was the 32X, there was the Sega Saturn. These were all pretty decent ideas, but Sega put them out on the marketplace and then abandoned them almost immediately, burning not only the fans who bought them, but also the game developers who were developing games for them.
If you're a fan of Sega, and all of a sudden they're releasing systems back to back within like 2 years of each other, it's gonna piss you off. You know, it's like I just dropped all this money on, a new system, and then within a year you're talking about releasing something else. So that means I gotta drop all this money again to buy it.
Electronic Arts is one of the biggest names in gaming because they make the best and the most popular sports games. And they were so mad that Sega had pulled support for the Saturn. They said, we're never going to work with Sega again. We're not going to develop for their consoles.
And that was actually a really big blow because EA was known for all their great sports games, including, of course, Madden.
Going into the launch of the Dreamcast, people were making fun of Sega. They were pissed. They'd been burnt a handful of times at this point.
And people were just thinking, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me a second and third time, still shame on you. Fool me a fourth time, shame on me.
The thing is, when the system actually launched, it really was good. And it won over a lot of media. It won over a lot of gamers.
So the Dreamcast actually broke a lot of new ground. It was the first 128-bit system, the first one with a modem, the first one with online play. It even had its own ISP called SegaNet. Nobody used it, but points for trying.
Dreamcast was also the first console that had a web browser. There's still no web browser for Xbox 360, that's a very forward-thinking thing they did.
It was one of the first video game systems that actually used Microsoft Windows as its platform, making it easier for developers to make games for it.
They were gonna make the memory cards little mini consoles unto themselves, and it gave the function of a little screen only on the controller, and you could use it, say, in a football game to pick your play without the other person seeing.
And you could also pull the VMU out of the unit and play little mini games on there. I think they had a little Tamagotchi game on there. It's like a little, virtual pet game.
And unlike pretty much any console launch before or since, they kicked it off with a great slate of launch games, including Soul Calibur, one of the greatest games of all time.
Soul Calibur is just a well-rounded, top-notch package. It's got the graphics, the sound, it's fun to play, it's accessible but also deep. It's just a great game.
Look at Midway's Ready to Rumble. It's really fun. It was a great party game. It did everything right.
So even though EA wasn't making sports games for the Dreamcast, Sega said, you know what, we'll just make our own sports games. Thus was born the 2K Sports Series, which was just as good as anything EA was putting out.
Sega's NFL 2K series actually ended up rivaling Madden, both in sales and critical response.
It earned a reputation as one of, if not the greatest sports gaming console ever. They didn't earn that reputation with EA's help. They earned it by making their own badass sports games.
The Dreamcast got off to a great start, and the people buying it were video game fans. They were buying a lot of games for it. So at first, it looked like it was a very promising new system.
In 3 weeks, the Dreamcast sold more than 1 million units in America. It's pretty wild. The problem, the complicating factor here was the rumors and eventual